What's up, everyone? Joe with ECRM here at our Deli, Dairy, and Bakery session, and I have with me Brenda Howard from Naseerah's Bake Shop in Philly. Now, this is her first time as a participant in one of our sessions, and she's a very new entrepreneur, just launched the company. So thank you for joining us, and tell us a little bit about the company. We have some of the products here.
Well, initially when I started this company, it wasn't really supposed to be a company. I started out because I wanted to give my children something that didn't have a whole lot of chemicals and extra stuff in it. So I wanted like simple ingredients. And I decided that it would be just as easy for me to bake cookies than it would for me to just buy the stuff on the shelf, break it and thaw it and bake it. So I did that, and then once we realized we had something, like we were going around selling to barbershops and hair salons and stuff, and I was using the cuteness of the kids to make it work.
Whatever it takes, whatever it takes.
And then one day we just decided we wanted to take America's favorite desserts and turn them into on-the-go, no place setting needy desserts. So we have a lot of flavors like sweet potato, apple pie, strawberry apple.
Well, the ones you have here, right?
The ones I have here is the sweet potato. That's the one that we're launching first.
So, this is the first one.
We're launching the sweet potato cookie dough and the actual baked sweet potato cookies.
I tried them; they're amazing. Really good stuff. And so I think that was great. The first, you did it organically within the neighborhood, get the feedback from them, and then start working up from there. And then, what made you decide to come here? Because you almost didn't come. Tell us that story. Share that story.
That's true. Initially, when I got the email, I was really excited about it. But then after I talked to Heather and she started asking me questions about palettes and stuff, I was like, oh wait, I'm not ready. I'm not ready at all. And then after she said, well, get yourself together. I'm gonna call you back on May 1st at 10 o'clock. And I said, okay. And then I went to my daughter and I said, well, they called me from ECRM for this big event. I was like, but I told her I wasn't ready because she was asking about palettes and stuff. And I'm like, how in the world am I gonna produce all of that? And my daughter looked at me and said, what? You told her you wasn't ready? She was like, you never tell people you're not ready. She was like, all right, so when a lady call back, you tell her you're ready and then you figure it out and you get ready. So when she called me back on May 1st, I told her I was ready, even though I wasn't.
No, but you know what? And this is an important thing. I think this is an important thing for brands, startup, founder-led brands who are watching this, that may not be 100% retail ready, right? It may not have the co-packers or anything. But you can actually leverage the people you meet here and your meetings to help find them and at least to start the relationships while you're finishing up those final touches.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so let's get into that. Talk about when you had the meetings, not just with the buyers, but talk about your buyer meetings, but then also the meetings you had with other founders and brands and how that helped too, because that was great.
The meetings that I had I told everybody that I met with that I was new, that I really didn't have co-packers lined up, and I was still, wet behind the ears with information and things of that nature. And they were so forthcoming with telling me, oh, well, we'll help you with certifications and we'll help you get this and just keep in contact. And, when you're ready, you have things in order, we'll go with it, so everybody was really open and willing to help me fill in all the gaps. But on top of that, when we had like our cocktail night or whatever, I didn't know anybody. I went and sat with a group of women that I had never even met. I asked them if I could sit down. We all introduced ourselves. And we ended up spending hours together. We stayed together through the cocktails, laughing and joking and cracking jokes, told stories about our families and everything. Then we went to dinner. We spent the entire night. We closed the restaurant.
And they were buyers and brands
and they
together.
Were buyers and brands, yes. And we were talking and laughing. And the entire time that we were, revealing personal information about ourselves, they were giving tips on how each one of us could well, me per se, because I was really the only newbie at the table, but they were giving me so much information on how I can have products that would fit into so many different various venues and how I could get myself ready so no matter who I'm presenting to, I have something for them.
That's great. That's great. It illustrates 2 points that I always say. One is the importance of transparency, and what you did was perfect. letting them know what your capabilities are and what your capabilities are not, because you're transparent with them. Sure, you may not be able to do business with them right now, but they know that when you are ready and you say you are, they can trust you. So you're building that relationship, and then not only that, but they're helping you. They're giving you advice to steer you in the right direction.
Right.
You know, and the other thing is also leveraging, sure, people come here, they want to meet with the chance of getting that order, but also you want to leverage the resources here, the buyers, the other brands to learn and to further your business, and that's what you did. The cocktails and the office, she was talking about the offsite we had at Pinstripes, a little bowling alley over here, and it just goes to show it's not just the buyers you're meeting with, but you also got good advice from like your neighbors.
I did. People that were sitting across from me, she overheard a conversation I had with one of the buyers, and she was like, well, wait, you're new? You need a co-packer? Are you certified? And I was like, no. And she was like, I got a co-packer for you. Give me your information. We actually exchanged telephone numbers. Okay. She was like, give me your information. Call me on Friday. I'm going to hook you up with a co-packer so you can start getting stuff in order. She was like, and if he doesn't respond quickly the way you call me back. She said, I'll get to him.
And then she talked to you about certification too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But she wasn't the only one that talked about, making sure that I was women-owned certified and black-owned certified. There were a couple of distributors that were like, oh no, we can help you get certified, and if it's a little bit pricey, let us know. We have financing. We can help you with all. Like everyone was. It seemed like everyone was so on board with helping me to be able to enter into this phase of my business completely ready and just prepare for success.
That's truly amazing. That's and it's the sense of community that develops with all of the people here. They're really here to help everybody out, and and it's valuable. One, you're making great connections, but two, you're getting good feedback on the products, on the packaging, on the operations, on everything that you need. And then advice from people who have done it, maybe made some mistakes, and they want to help you skip those steps, so it's always good. So aren't you glad you took a chance?
Listen, when I came in here yesterday, I said to myself, if nothing comes out of this but information, it's still a win. And I've gotten so much more.
You had good buyer meetings, so you said the buyer meetings were great too.
The buyer meetings were phenomenal. The information, the feedback, even people that had nothing to gain from giving me information still gave me information. So this has been a fully well-rounded, phenomenal experience.
And you have some follow-ups to do with the buyers you met.
Yes, I do. I have follow-ups. So even though they know I'm not like store ready, you're
on the way. You're on the way.
I'm on the way.
And the staff. I see. I mean, you and Heather, and you really,
and I hit with Caroline.
Connecting.
I hit Caroline with so many stupid questions. I said she gonna see these questions and be like, what? But they were both of them so patient and immediate response. Like I never had to wait to get an answer back. Everybody was on point. Like it's the most phenomenal experience. It really has been.
Well, I'm so glad. I'm so glad to hear that. And look, this is a perfect example of what a first-time participant should do at a session. Make the use of the information that we put at your fingertips, of the resources that are available, of the people that are available, and maximizing your experience both with the other brand owners and the buyers, and just connecting with as many people as possible all the time. So you did it well, and I know you're going to be a good success. So congratulations on completing almost finishing your first one, and then we hope to see you at more of these soon.
I hope so too.
All right. Thank you
so much. I appreciate it.